Hey my officials, welcome back to a whole new video, and welcome if you're new. If you are new here, welcome to Officially Michele Family. Thank you so much for subscribing, liking and commenting. Please like and comment, as that gives me engagement and it will help my YouTube channel grow. And of course, if you're subscribed, that will help me grow as well. And with all of that being said, let's get into the actual video, why you guys are really here. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some do's and don'ts, and I'm just going to be basically doing a chit chat on traveling, solo traveling. I have gotten a lot of questions on solo traveling. I do get people in my DMs asking me, you know, what made you want to travel by yourself? How does it feel to travel by yourself? And all of that good stuff. So I really wanted to do a video dedicated to that. I also had someone ask me in a Q&A about it, and I was like, you know what, it is time for me to sit down and record this particular video. So I am here recording this video for you guys. So one of the first things that I would say is that when you do decide to go on this journey of wanting to go on a solo travel, it is something that is going to be out of your comfort zone. You're going to be afraid, you're going to be scared, and all of those emotions are actually okay. You might back out on it, you might end up inviting someone on something that you've planned to do by yourself, and all of that is okay. Anything that is new is going to be uncomfortable, and anything that is uncomfortable can kind of make you nervous and scared about whatever it is that you want to do. The other thing that I would recommend though is that if you're someone that loves to be around a lot of people and you do not want to be and you're not someone that likes to be by yourself, I would definitely recommend that now is the time for you to start going to dinner by yourself, going to lunch by yourself, hanging out with yourself a little bit more, maybe going to the movies by yourself, maybe even going as far as exploring your own country on your own, going to the beach by yourself if you live on an island, or going to a cafe by yourself and just kind of spending the day with yourself and being okay with spending the day with yourself, where you're not thinking about, oh, I wish someone was here with me for this, or I wish someone was here with me for that. So these are things that I feel like I need to mention, because solo travel is also not an easy thing to do. So I need to mention these things because, again, if you're someone that loves company, loves to have friends, loves to be around a lot of people all the time, then solo traveling may not be for you, and that's okay. So with all of that being said, we are going to get into some of the things that I do or I have done to help me to plan for my solo travel. So one of the things that I would recommend is, first thing, you need to decide on where you're gonna go. So location is very important. You're gonna decide on where you're gonna go, what island or country you want to visit, and you're gonna do a lot of research, because when you decide on that country, you want to make sure that that country is safe for tourists. You want to make sure that it's a country that does not maybe have a lot of crime in reference to like tourists, and just in reference to crime in general, because anywhere you go you're gonna get crime. Like, that's just what it is. But you know, you want to go to a safe place, especially if you're going on a solo travel. You want to feel comfortable in a country. If you travel to a country, you want to feel safe. So that would be my first recommendation, is to make sure you pick a location, pick a country, and do your research on if you think that that country is safe or not. Second thing that I do when I'm planning travel is I always look at my flight, my date and my flight and my accommodation, and I do that date, flight, accommodation. So I'm gonna speak on date. If you're going for your birthday, then that means you are deciding to go to the country whenever your birthday is. So it's not gonna fall around if it's hot or if it's cold, because sometimes countries are cold, sometimes countries are hot. So you're gonna pick a date on when you want to go, and once you would have picked that date, you're then gonna pick a flight. So you're gonna go and look at a flight, you're gonna research, and in your research from the country, you should have researched. When you get to looking at flight details, you're also going to be mindful of, do I need a visa to go to this island or country? Do I need a tourist card? What it is that I need that I can apply. And of course, the internet is very helpful sometimes, and you should be able to do some research and get to find out in reference to like flights, if you need a visa or not. So that is one of the things that I would recommend in reference to when you're looking at your flights. One thing I would recommend is look at flights early. One thing I failed to mention initially is when you are preparing for your vacation, prepare, unless you're balling and you have a lot of money, I would recommend you at least prepare a good 6 months before you want to take that vacation, or even a good year or 8 months before you want to take that vacation. If you are on a budget, if you have the money at your disposal and you want to take a vacation, then these steps are going to come quick and they're going to come easy. But if you're someone that's on a budget, you have a job, you need to get time, preparing and being prepared and doing all of those things beforehand is very important, months before you do decide to go on this vacation. So in reference to flights, you want to make sure that the flights that you're choosing, they are affordable. Maybe it may not have too much stops, whatever your preference is in reference to flights. I personally love a straight flight. I love a non-stop flight. I do not like the extra stuff, and if I do get a stop, 1 or 2 stops the most. I do not want to have to go through 5 countries to get to my destination. That's just me. So I will pay for comfort, I will pay for convenience. If you are someone that cannot afford to do that, then that is okay. Sometimes it doesn't matter how much countries you may have to go through to get to your final destination if that ticket is cheaper, but to each its own, and again, to your own budget. The next thing I will speak about is accommodation. Accommodation for me is very important when it comes to traveling. I want to make sure that I'm going to be in a safe location, and that my accommodation is up to my particular standard. So one of the things what I would recommend, that if you're going on a solo travel, I know there's a lot of Airbnbs and that's a thing that is in, but I would definitely recommend that you stay in a hotel. I think it's a little bit more safer for you to be in a hotel environment rather than you being in an Airbnb by yourself. Unless you overly feel safe in that country, or unless you've been to that country multiple times and you feel safe staying in an Airbnb. For me personally, I will stay in a hotel because I just feel more safe there. If there's anything wrong with me, my family knows exactly where I am, my friends know exactly where I am, and all of that good stuff. So definitely would recommend, in reference to accommodation, if you're doing any solo travel, just save up the money to stay in an actual hotel. And one thing in reference to accommodation I failed to mention, I always use bookings.com. The reason being is bookings.com allows me to put a room on hold without charging my card. They always have that option sometimes, so I always book through Bookings, and it's been perfect for me to book through Bookings. No, this is not a sponsored video by Bookings, but if Bookings want to sponsor me, hey, they can. But I always use Bookings when I am booking accommodation. I always go through Bookings. I read the reviews and all of that good stuff in reference to Bookings. So if you are looking in reference to accommodation and you're looking to stay in a hotel, I would definitely recommend that you go through bookings.com. So the next thing that I do after I would have looked at my country, my date, my flight, my accommodation, I then start saying, okay, I have all of these things planned out. Now I'm gonna look to, what am I gonna do when I get there? Do I wanna let it just be a lazy vacation where I just stay in the hotel and lounge around, or am I gonna go and do some sightseeing? And for me, I am going to do both. I want to be lazy on vacation and do nothing on vacation, literally, and I also want to kind of go and do a little bit of sightseeing, and that's where I would start going on a hunt of Googling. I would also go to Instagram to see, you know, what people get up to when they go to this particular island, and then I also look at where my location is going to be and the things that I can do around my location. I would try not to venture out too far, something that is 2 to 3 hours of a drive if I'm going by myself. But I know if I'm in an area, in a hotel area, and then there's surrounding things that you could do in reference to that. Another thing that I do when it comes to planning my trip, if I'm staying in a hotel, I also look to see what activities the hotel offer in reference to like tours and like all of that good stuff. So you have all of that information that you can explore when you are planning your trip. And majority of the times the hotel does have tours that they can put you on, which you are kind of safer going in a group with a tour rather than you touring an island by yourself. If you're that brave, kudos to you. I'm not doing that. If I go on vacation by myself and there are tours, I'm gonna just go with the group that the tour is on. Luckily for me, when I went to St. Lucia, no one was doing anything on that day. That I went to, like the waterfalls and sulfur springs and stuff. So I got a personal tour, and my driver was so nice, so sweet, such a good guy. But the day after, when I went to the beach and stuff, I went with the group that was from the hotel. And you know, everybody got their chairs, everybody did their own thing when they got there, but I was still with that hotel group, and I felt very safe doing that. So that's basically it in reference to how I plan my trips. Someone asked me about financing my trip. One thing I will say, I do not plan my trips 2 months in advance. I try my best, depending on where I'm going, to plan my trips 6 to 8 months in advance, because I want to pay for things as early as I can, like reserve my ticket early. I also try to reserve my accommodation as early as I can, and so by the time it's time for me to go on vacation, it's just for me to have spending money to do my tours, to do any additional activities that I want. I would definitely recommend, if you are traveling, that you try to have like cash and card, have a little bit of both, just in case you need your card to pay for something and it's an emergency. And you also want to make sure you have cash just in case like the country doesn't take a lot of cards, or they do not have a lot of card machines and stuff like that. Sometimes tours require you to have a little bit of cash to get in on entrance and like that kind of thing. So I would definitely recommend that you walk with both, and I would definitely recommend, in reference to an emergency fund, that you walk with extra money for emergency purposes only. So now we're gonna get into the don'ts when you are on vacation. When you're actually on vacation, one of the things that I would recommend is to please stick within your budget. Do not plan a vacation that is out of your budget. I think that you will have a good time based on how you plan your vacation. That let it be within your budget. Don't go all out of your way to do every single activity. You do not need to do that, but do plan a vacation that is within your budget. If you can only do 2 out of the activities that you see someone has done, do that. It's really about the experience, and it's really sometimes about you just being by yourself and being in your zen. Another thing that I would not recommend you do is, when you go on vacation, you do not need to be too polite to anyone. You're on vacation and you're by yourself, so you I'm not telling you guys to be rude, but you don't need to be overly polite to any one particular person. Like, I'm sorry to say that. I know it sounds mean and harsh, but yeah, you don't need to be overly polite to anyone, because people sometimes pry on certain characteristics of a person. So I just want to say that that's something that I don't recommend. You be polite, but you don't need to be too polite. Another thing that I would recommend that you do not do when you're on vacation is excessive drinking. I would not recommend that at all. If you are on vacation by yourself, do not get drunk. If you know you're lightweight, do not drink anything with any alcohol in there. That is something that I never got drunk per se on my vacation. I drank in moderation of what I know. I also drank very light, so I sticked with wines rather than getting harsh alcohol, because I wanted to be alert at every time. I know I was there by myself, and I know I do not want to be drunk in a place that is foreign to me and I do not have anybody, and you want to be as safe as you are. Even if you're in a hotel, even if I stayed in hotels, I made sure that I wasn't overly drunk at my when I went to the bar and had a drink and that kind of thing. Like, I made sure that I was nice, I was good, I was level-headed, and I was still drinking, but I just wasn't drinking excessively or drinking to get drunk or anything like that. Another thing that I would recommend is try not arriving in the night. If you can arrive in the day, do not go to someone's island or country and you're there in the night, unless maybe you're being picked up by someone that you know and they're taking you to your hotel or wherever you're going. But I would definitely recommend it's safer for you to go in the day, you know, arrive in the day, arrive at a good time in the day, where, you know, you can get like a hotel shuttle, or, you know, whatever Uber you're taking, you're there in the day. Because it's just, to me, I feel safer arriving to a country that I do not really know, or if I'm going on a solo travel, I would feel safer going in the daytime. That's just me. Alright, so the last thing that I would recommend that you don't do when you're on vacation is don't be too honest. Do not give out your full name. Do not give out any information about you. If you're at a bar and you meet someone, hey, my name is Tina, or you give out your middle name, give out a name that you do not really use often. Do not give out your full name. Do not give out your details. You do not need to be honest to anyone that you're on vacation with. You do not have to let them know that, oh, I'm doing a solo travel here by myself. They do not need to know that. Your boyfriend could be in the hotel room and he just is not coming down for drinks. You do not need to give out any information, because you don't want anyone to pry on you. You do not want anyone to feel like you're there by yourself and, you know, you do not know anyone and they can do whatever it is that they want with you. So I would definitely recommend to try your best to not be honest. I know I'm telling you guys to lie, but hey, if it's gonna keep you safe and sound, just, you know, depending on who you're speaking to, just be as vague as you can be. Just be very vague in when you meet new people, especially on vacation, because you just don't know what people's motives are. You don't want anyone prying on you knowing that you're there for a solo travel. So that is basically it. That's my final don't if you want to say that, but that's my final don't in this video. I know a lot of people want to embark on solo journeys, and I would recommend that you do it. I got encouraged to do it by one of my closest friends. She was like, girl, you should do it, it's gonna be a good time. And with her encouragement, I was like, yeah, I do this all the time. I travel for work all the time, and sometimes I'm just by myself, so why not go on vacation by myself? Also, it helps you to do the things that you want to do and not wait for friends and family to go to a place that you want to visit and that you can visit by yourself and enjoy yourself just the same. You do get to meet a lot of people while you go on vacation, and you do meet genuine people when you go on vacation, and you do sometimes even meet friends. And, you know, when you start doing group activities, you hang out with people a lot. So I would definitely say it's something that I would recommend at least you try one time, and then if you don't like it, then of course you do not do it again, and then make sure you go to a safe place. So yeah, so that's basically where I'm gonna end this little chit chat video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next upload. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'm on a road to 5K and we are gonna get there. So yeah, I think that's basically it for me, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you again so much for watching, and until my next upload, bye.